All righty. Welcome to the live. Okay, I am using my webcam to go live, and I haven't gone live on my webcam in forever. If you're new here, I'm ibyl, and this is my channel where I share about my Sisterlocks journey. I've been on this journey for 15 years. In March, I'll hit the sweet 16, so it's a few months away. But I also inspire others to try new lock styles. I share lock care tips as well for growing long, healthy locks. I have my hair back today. Because when I'm at work, I like to keep it out of my face. But this is my hair, which I need to be careful that I'm not sitting on my hair. So I just need to bring it to the front. But yeah, so I'm almost at the sweet 16. I also do other beauty content, a little no makeup look, and also just other things that I'm interested in as well. Nail care, which I need to do my nails. I need to do my nails. So this is kind of like how I wore my nails for the holidays, but it's time to get it done. And I usually do my own nails, like manicure and polish as well. But so that's my channel in a nutshell, and I'm so glad you're here. Shout out to all the new people who have found my channel and subscribed. And thank you for those who tuned into my most recent video. Is my lock journey becoming dull? And where I talked about a few years back where I just was like getting really bored with my hair, and what I decided to do to get past the boredom. And hopefully the video is encouraging for you. Hopefully you can relate to it. If you find that you can't relate to it, please share with someone you think can relate to it. If you haven't checked out the video, go check it out. Chime in. I'm also talking about a hair challenge I'm doing this year, and I hope you will join in for the hair challenge. A few people in the comments let me know they're going to be joining in. In that video, I do have a link to a downloadable for the challenge. So check it out. If you're like, what's this challenge? I may be interested. Go check it out. But today here in this live, I'm going to be answering a few questions that I got on that video. And there's some questions I get on other videos as well. I do want to make a regular sit down video for it as well. But I'm going to be answering it in short. I'm kind of long-winded, so it's probably not going to be short, but I'm going to be answering it in this video. But I may do another sit down video where I talk about some of these questions as well. All right, so as I am sharing, please feel free to respond in the comments with any other questions you have or your reaction or response to anything I'm saying. I love some comments. So I'll be checking those comments periodically to respond to what is being asked. All righty. So the first question, as you saw in the title, do long locks equal heavy? So I've gotten that question quite a bit. I gotta remember where to look. I'm looking here, right? Hopefully I'm looking at you all and not looking at myself. Okay. All right, so do long locks equal heavy? And I'm sure everyone's experience is slightly different, but I feel the size of my locks play a part in my experience as well as the fact that I have an undercut in the back. So yeah, I cut off like 3 rows of locks. It was about 36 locks or so. Um, about 8 years ago. Yeah, I've had my undercut for 8 years. So I feel like that plays a part. How small my locks are, because with traditional locks or locks that are thicker, there's more hair that is caught in the lock over time. With me having smaller locks, not as much hair is caught within the lock as it would be if I had traditional locks. But feel free in the comments to chime in about your experience as well, like your length, if you have traditional locks, and your response to this question as well. So I want to ask you all, let me know in the comments. Are your locks heavy? And like, what length are your locks at? Hey, 305 Capricorn. Oh, welcome to the live. Thanks for joining in. But yeah, let me know in the comments your lock length, and are your locks heavy? Also, let me know if you have like Sisterlocks or traditional locks, micro locks as well. But so as I feel, that plays a part. I have undercut in the back, as well as I have small locks. So my answer to this question: are my locks, my long locks, my locks are like to my thighs. So are my locks heavy? The answer is yes and no. All right, so let me break that down a little bit. So on a day-to-day, when I'm just wearing my hair straight down or in a ponytail, my locks do not feel heavy to me. Now, keep in mind, that's relative. It wasn't like I woke up yesterday and was like, hey, let me put on locks that are to my thighs and walk around. Because I'm sure if someone had not been wearing locks, it may feel different. Hey, welcome to the live. It may feel different, but my locks have grown with me gradually for the past 15 years. So from one day to the next or 1 year to the next, they don't feel heavy to me in my day-to-day moving about. Hairstyle where I'm like curls or 2-strand twists does not feel heavy. The lock bob I did last year that I really enjoyed rocking did not feel heavy. Now, when does it feel heavy? If I were to put all of my hair up into like a bun, but a bun where like all my hair is centered in the center, that would feel heavy. It would feel like tension. Almost like I could tilt over, right? But if I were to put a bun up, all my hair up in a bun, but I had it spread out over the full space on the top of my head, then I feel like that balances it out and it would not feel heavy. But the times I've tried to like put all of my locks up into one bun right here in the center. Now my hair is thick, but if I were to try to center it just in the center, it would feel heavy. And also, locks are like sponges. So whenever I'm washing my hair, it's definitely weighed down with water because it's like sponges. So it fills with water. So it feels like little 2.5 weights, 2.5 pound weights are on the end of each lock. And because of that, I typically wash my hair in like one of those inflatable tubs or like in a sink. And I just had a habit even before locks washing my hair in a sink. But the few times I have tried in recent years to wash my hair in the shower, my edges are like screaming like because it's too much weight with the water. And yeah, pulls it down. So on my day-to-day, my locks are not heavy. The exception would be if I were to have a bun at the top of my head and it's centered, and also when my locks are filled with water. Oh, another situation, and it goes along with the filled with water. If I'm in the pool or in the ocean and I don't have my hair braided up or a swim cap on, then my locks are filling with water and I'm feeling all of that weight. And even the pool of the water, my locks being in the water, or the pool of my locks being in the ocean. So in those situations, my locks feel heavy. But it's not just the locks themselves, it's the locks with water filling them. And I assume with my locks balancing on in just the center part of my head would be the pull of gravity. Not sure. But that's my experience. But as I said in the comments, chime in and let me know what's your lock length. You have traditional locks, Sisterlocks, micro locks, and are your locks heavy? Because that's a question I get quite a bit. In one of my recent videos, so moving on to another question, and as I say in the comments, if you have a question for me, please feel to type it. And if you haven't, said hey, feel free to post in the comments. But the other question I was asked, not once, but several times on my recent video and a couple of videos back, and I usually reply directly to who asked me those questions, but also I'll make a video for if someone doesn't see that comment. Hey, Jean G. Y'all don't have on my glasses. I'm like, I think I can see the comments. I think it says Jean G. Welcome to the live. Hey, Capricorn. Okay, I see a question. So I'm gonna come back to the question in just a moment. Okay, so someone asked me, because my locks are so long, how do I even go to the restroom? Which is a interesting question. I did say my locks are to the point where I'm sitting on them, which is uncomfortable. So it's about time for a trim. Not going to cut my locks off. Not going to even cut much initially. I feel like it needs to be a gradual cutting of the locks. I can't sit myself in the shop and be like, oh, I'm just doing away with all of the length at once. Now, mind you, I've had a good length since at least 2018, 2019. I feel like my locks have felt as long as they have felt since 2018. So they haven't been to my thighs that long, but meaning where I felt like, oh, I'm at my lock goal and my locks feel really long to me. I'm thoroughly pleased with where I am now. I've been feeling that way since maybe 2018, 2019, maybe 2019. So I don't want to set myself in shock and be like, oh, I'm just cutting it all the way up to here or something like that. No, I got to do it gradually. So we're going to do a trim when I do cut it, just so that I'm to the point where I'm not sitting on my locks. Because I said that can be uncomfortable. I'm like, my hair is being pulled. I'm like, what's pulling? Oh, I'm sitting on the locks. That's why. So, yeah, I'm going to do a trim. And then eventually I'll cut it shorter than that, but it needs to be gradual. I gotta hold my own hand. I gotta take a baby step. But someone asked me that question, and I think, once again, my locks have grown with me over time. So going to the restroom is no issue. My locks don't get in the way. I rarely just have my locks all down. But you know what? The past, few weeks, so this is my last retightening, I have been wearing my hair straight, like just straight down, which I rarely do. And I think because during the holidays, I was on break from work, that allowed me to, kind of sit with wearing my hair straight down, even when going out. But typically when I'm at work, I'm putting it back in something, in like a ponytail, or I may style it or whatever. But I've been like just enjoying the break from styling, just enjoying the straight down look as my style. And so I may simply just move my hair to one side. And so if I move my hair to one side, it's no longer in the way. Now, when it comes to my lock length getting in the way, it doesn't happen at the restroom. It happens when I'm going to pick up something off the floor. Like if I have all my hair down and I go to pick up something off the floor, even if I move my hair to one side, I feel like my hair is going to touch the floor, and I do not want my hair touching the floor because, when was the last time they mopped the floor? And if they did, it's still the floor. The soles of their shoes hit the floor. So that's when my hair gets in the way at this length. When I go to squat down, bend down to pick up something off the ground and my hair is all hanging down. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to like pick up the item with the other hand and hold my hair up with the other hand so it won't touch the ground. So to answer that second question, I simply move my hair to a side. So it's no issue when I use the restroom. The only issue comes when I am Trying to pick something off the ground. All right, so back to the chat. So I was asked, what rotation do you use, and how often do you get reties? So I do not retie my own hair. I go to my loctician. My loctician is the MVP. She retines my hair in about 3.5 hours, and she uses a 4-point rotation, and I go every 7 weeks. That's what routine I'm on, like clockwork, every 7 weeks. Thank you for that question. All right, Jean G said, I've cut my Sisterlocks 3 times. First time, 9 inches. Second time, 5 inches. Third time, 6.5 inches. My locks have never felt heavy. And thank you for sharing your response. I feel like it's because our locks are so small. Even if you grow them long, they still don't feel heavy. So for anyone that was wondering, I want someone with like traditional locks to chime in too, but yeah, for anyone that was wondering, I feel like it's the size of the locks. As I said, I have less locks than, like, my hair is thick though, but I have less locks because I don't have an undercut in the back, so it's just my natural hair. And during the winter months, I don't even get my undercut trimmed, so it's just growing back there. But yes, I want to hear someone chime in the comments who has traditional locks and let me know as well, like length your locks and if your locks are heavy, if length you're at. See, you've done a lot of cutting, Jean, and I'm like, have I even done a trim? I'm sure I've done. I remember. Okay, so when I first got locks, my loctician at the time, she trimmed my locks a few times. This is like, my hair wasn't barely even touching my shoulders at this point. But since those earlier years, I have not gotten my hair cut besides getting the locks cut off completely for the undercut. I just recently added into my routine, like literally the last second to the last time I shampooed my hair. I added in like any of my, like sometimes you have locks that have separated the ends for whatever reason. It could be, in my case, it could be me sitting on the lock. So then it's now, detached and hanging. And in the past, I've literally just let it hang till it just falls off on its own. But I've just recently added in checking my locks because I don't really like the stragglers, the hanging pieces anyway. But like I said, for the longest, my mindset has been just let them do what they're going to do. If they're hanging on, they're going to eventually fall off or whatever. But I recently added in my routine on shampoo day after I'm like checking my locks for any debris. Then I check my ends for any hanging locks. Not the balls, because if you cut on your locks, then you may end up getting the balls again because it has to close. So not that. Many of my locks are pretty much closed, no curly ends, percent unless there's been something I've cut or has detached because it broke at the end for whatever reason. But I've decided to start going through and trimming those and just trimming up to the point where it separates. Like this morning, I had a lock I noticed that had separated. Now, we listen, we don't judge. Many times when I'm talking from experience, and usually when I share something, it could be because I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way, so I usually want to spare people like, okay, don't do what I do. Don't do what I do. Choose a different route so you won't experience what I've experienced. So I check my locks pretty regularly, and I definitely make sure I check right before shampooing to get off any debris before it like goes in lock. When it goes in lock, it's there. But in my mind, if I see something in my lock and I'm like, I want to get it out, I become a little obsessive with trying to get it out, right? And that's not good for your lock. It's really not. And I always say this, not good for your lock, but I don't always follow that advice. And so sometimes I find myself, and I think in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's right here, right? It hasn't gone in. It's right here. I can get it. But that's really not true. If you don't catch it the day of, and you're like, oh, I think I can just get it off, and then before you know it, it's like 5 or 10 minutes in, and you're like picking at the lock, like I'm gonna get it out, I'm gonna get it out. And then, let a week or two, maybe even a month pass by, that same space you were digging at, you'll find the lock, or at least in my experience, the lock has separated in that spot where you were digging it. So we listen, we don't judge. Don't pick at your locks. Don't be like me. Don't pick at your locks. And I don't do it all the time. It's just sometimes I'll look down and be like, oh, I gotta get this out. But anyway, I think that's been a bad habit of things I do sometimes. And I pay for it. So I always say, don't pick at your locks. Try to catch it on the surface by checking your locks regularly, so you won't even be tempted to pick in your locks, because it will cause your locks to separate. But so I've tried to get into the habit of trimming any ends I see that have separated, so it won't have a straggler. So that's the only like trimming I've done. But right now, my color, like I got color, so long ago now. It's 2025. So I got this color in 2013. So almost 12 years ago. Because I think I got it around the summer months. No, I don't know. I think I got it maybe after my lock anniversary that year. So I guess I'm coming up on 12 years of this color. So I don't know if you can see it in the lighting, but my color is literally growing out to my ends. So I'm almost fully in my natural hair color now, which is black. And a little gray, apparently. Black and gray. But yeah, so trim, I need to, like I said, baby steps. Jean said, I did my last cut on, you just did a cut. The top of the year. And above the shoulder bob. Okay. Are you on Instagram? If so, message me or tag me in one of your posts. I would love to see your shoulder length bob. Is it asymmetrical, or is it like the same length all around? Let me know. So I'm not ready. I'm not ready for a bob yet. Like I love the lock bob I did last year, the style, because like I feel like, so there's so many things. So there's two truths. Well, two truths can exist at the same time. There's several truths can exist at the same time. But I'm one of those somewhat indecisive, right? But once I make my decision, I make my decision. But I'm one of those, like, I feel I want short hair and long hair. But you can't have both. You got to choose one, right? I want color hair, then I want my natural black hair. So I feel like there's two truths that live within me when it comes to my decisions about my hair. Like, I want short hair and I want long hair. Yet I want to take baby steps before I like trim too much, like a little bit at a time, not a lot all at once. I want to enjoy my hair being all black as my color ends grows out, but also I want to do like an all over color, or either like color a section or color the back and keep the top a color. Like I be thinking about all kind of things. But also I'm fine with all black, but also I want a color. So yeah. Those two truths live in me. I love the bob look. And so I give myself an opportunity to experience that with the lock style, but I don't think I would cut it to a bob. I've actually been thinking about when I do trim it to the length I wanted it. I think the length is mid back length. I think. I feel like in recent days, like I've been stuck on the mid back length, but in recent days, I've been like, do I want it that length? Do I want it a little longer? I don't know, but with me taking baby steps, at least that's what I think I do. Take baby steps to trim it. I may get to a length and I'm like, okay, I think I want to do a little more. Or I think I want to stop here. May not even make it to mid back length. We'll see. Time will tell. Jean G said, I colored my hair before my Sisterlocks were established. My first cut, I cut off all the black. You have gray hair now. And you have YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to have to check out your YouTube channel. So I'll be able to see how your hair looks now. I remember that's what my loctician told me when I was getting started with locks. She was like, if you want color, it's advised you get it before you start your locks. or you're gonna have to wait. And I had to wait. I remember asking her sometimes, is it time yet? Is it time yet? Is it time yet? So I got my locks in 2009, and she didn't tell me I was ready for color until 2013. I was so excited when I got that color. I was so excited. And I wish she still did locks. So I would go back to her to get my hair color. Like, that's another thing too. Like, there's some things I want to do, and I'm like, who do I go see, or like who do I trust to go see to do what I need done? If that makes sense. Like, she did a really good job of coloring her. She was not only a loctician, but she was a natural hairstylist. She was a beautician, so she had skills in all of that. And that's why I picked her, because I was like, I wanted someone who not only is trained in this sister-like technique, but also, you know, has training in shampooing and caring for natural hair. And so she wanted to make sure my hair was settled enough and would still thrive even after color. And I feel like she did a good job of starting on a good foundation, as well as making sure my hair was settled enough to get color. And I loved how she did color. Like, ombre, I didn't even know what ombre was. And so I just said, I don't even know. I don't know if I told her what color. I said, I want color. And she mixed up these different shades of amber, and the end was blonde pretty much. And it was like amber, a lighter, until the ends were blonde. It was so pretty. And it still is pretty on the ends. I don't think I really have any pieces. Well, I have like a few that like still look a little blonde. But yeah, she did a really good job. And so I just like, who can I find now if I were to color anytime soon? I think it would be after a cut that I would color though. But if I were to color anytime soon, like, who would do my color now? She doesn't even do hair anymore that I know of. But so same with the trim. When I get it trimmed, I don't want to trim myself. Who can I trust to trim it the way I want it to get trimmed? Like, my loctician, she does just the retightness. She doesn't shampoo it. She doesn't trim or any of that. Doesn't color. I've asked her to ask any of her other clients if they have gotten theirs cut, who they go to, and that did not pan out well. I haven't asked her about color though. But yeah, so I need to just look around, ask around. There's somebody in my city that I'm considering. She doesn't really do much with Sisterlocks. Like, she does a lot of traditional locks, but she's also a trained beautician as well. So yeah, I've been considering maybe her. The only thing is her clientele, like, she is usually booked. Like, her books are booked. She has a lot of people that go see her for her hair care, mainly locks. So yeah. And also, like, am I really ready for any of those steps? Like, I have these two truths living. So I'm like, if I have these two things that I want, which one am I gonna decide on? And remember, I'm indecisive. Like, when it was time for me, well, not time, when I was considering getting an undercut, if you all could have been a fly on the wall to see my thoughts scroll as I was preparing or thinking about getting the undercut, I was back and forth, like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Cut your hair, cut your lock. What? I just was back and forth about it. And I finally had to just like list out some pros and cons. Okay, you do this about this. And it's always boils down to, can I reverse it? I guess. It was the same thing when I was thinking about getting locks. Like, once I make this choice, can I reverse it if I decide that's not for me? And sometimes you gotta just be okay with, no, you can't reverse it. You just gotta ride it out. And so with the locks, I convinced myself, okay, it's not permanent, even though it is, but kind of not. And there's more we know now about people picking out their locks, which I would not pick out my locks. That is too tedious. I'm tender-headed. If I decide I want locks, I would grow them out, and so I can have a little length, and I'll just cut them. But so, and you know, the hair up here is not fully locked anyway. So yeah, I'll grow them out and just cut it. But so, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? when I started my life journey. Oh, the idea of permanent. And I was like, could I reverse it if I didn't like it? But the thing about it is, when I got locks, I love them. But I was so nervous because I was wondering. It was just I guess, the wondering of the unfamiliar. And if I decided to go with this unfamiliar and I didn't like the unfamiliar and wanted to give up, could I go back to how I was wearing my hair before? And so that's what it came down to in the undercut too. Like, okay, what if I don't like the undercut, or can I reverse it? Yeah, I could always grow out that part of my hair and start the locks over. Like, I've thought about that, growing it out and starting those locks over. But then I've also been like, remember why you got the undercut. Remember why you got it. So do I really want to go back to that? Maybe one day, but I think I'm enjoying the undercut and having less locks. Like, when I go to get my hair retied, I have to worry about her trying to get that hair that's right here. Like, why would you try to retighten it? Oh, they used to be, and I'm tender hair. They used to be the worst area to retighten. I feel like my hair is the kinkiest back there. That hair back there, locked first. Now, mind you, I have slightly different textures on my head, especially right here. These are, if you've been along on my journey with me for a while, I just call these my problem child. Because this hair is like a looser curl pattern. Almost like straight. I mean, it took forever for this area to lock. And when I first started getting my hair, when I first got my locks installed, I was on an 8-week. I'm on a 7-week now. But yeah, I was on an 8-week for a long time. So I was on an 8-week. But this section, I had to go every 4 weeks. So in between time of getting the rest of my hair locked, I had to go and just get this part retightened to avoid slippage. So yeah. And I feel like that section of my hair took the longest to grow. It's still not as long as my hair in the back, the part that was the kinkiest. All right, so I have some more comments. Hey, Fanetti! So glad to catch you on live. I meant to say, so glad that you're tuning into my live. How are you doing? You all, I got to give a shout out to Fanetti. She is the creator of the She Towel. If you have not heard about the She Towel, check it out. I have mine and I love it. I have loved it for the past few years. And now my hair is growing longer. I've pretty much surpassed the length of the She Towel a little bit. But my situation is a little different than most people. But I still use my She Towel. I just tuck those locks in and get it to the bottom, twist it up, and put it over my head. But yeah, it is one of the best ways to dry your hair. Microfiber towel. It is safe for your hair. It does not cause any lint. And I'm able to, twist it up, put it on my head, absorb all the water before I go into any other parts of my drying process. So yeah, check out the She Towel by Fanetti. Thank you for joining in the live. So good to see you as well. Of course. Definitely got to shout you out. But yeah, so I was going to just get on here for a quick live. So I've been on here about 30 minutes or so. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions. Oh, measuring my longest lock. So no one has asked me that, but I think about 8 years ago, someone asked me, like, how long is your longest lock, or how many inches are your locks? Either somebody asked me that, or I was wondering, and I made a video. I'm not sure, but so I did a video about maybe 8 years ago where I measured my longest lock, and I can't even remember how long it was, but I'm thinking about measuring my longest lock, not right here on this live, but in an upcoming video. But let me know in the comments whether you're watching live now or you catch the replay. Make a guess. How many inches do you think my locks are? Now, mind you, my locks are hanging at about my thighs, maybe a little bit longer when stretched. But yeah, make a guess. Let me know how many inches you think my locks are. And if you want a frame of reference, I'll try to remember to put in the caption once I post this live. Put in the caption the link to the video I did. I think it was like in 2017 where I measured my longest lock. And yeah, so yeah, it's been about 8 years since I did that video. Oh, it's sold out. Congrats on the sellout. And that's good to know that you will be restocking. Okay, that is good news. Yeah. But yeah, let me know if you all have any more questions. I will just leave this part open for just open chat. Of any questions you all have for me. I think I'm going to probably end the live. All right, thanks for your guest, Finetti. I think I'm going to end the live in probably the next 4 to 5 minutes. So that was like 40 minutes on live. So yeah, I've been trying to, as of December, try to be more consistent with going live. And so typically I go live like on my phone. And I have my phone right here. I was looking down at my little notes. But yeah, so I typically go live on my phone. But I feel like that's different than going live on the computer. So I said, let me go back to try going live on the computer. This is probably my 3rd time ever since I started this channel going live on my computer. And the first time, if y'all ever go back and scroll into my videos, if you see that first time I went live, it was so chaotic. But it was so many people that joined in and stuck with me. Like there was no sound at first. It was a lot of things going on with that live. Yeah, it was late because I started the live at a certain time, but it was some issues. Anyway, we made it past it. Then I did a live maybe like 6 years ago from my computer. Did a live from my computer. And then as of recently, like December or so, I started doing lives using my phone. And so I wanted to make it a regular part of my posting schedule. So typically Wednesday is supposed to be like a long form video. Because I haven't, like, I'll do short form here and there. Mainly I do short form content on Instagram though, or TikTok, but mainly Instagram. I'm not sure if I want to dabble much into shorts as of yet. If I do, it's going to be me taking snippets or highlights from the live well, no, that's not shorts. I may do highlights too from the live. That's like 5 minutes or so. But I'll take snippets from a video I did to turn into a short. But typically I'm sticking with long form. And so Wednesday is supposed to be long form, posting at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Saturdays at 10 a.m. long form as well. And sprinkled in there somewhere will be live streams. And I'm not sure if I want to set a specific date. Thank you so much, Finetti. Thank you for your guest as well, Jean G. As I said, look for an upcoming video where I'm going to be measuring my locks. Either video or live stream. I don't have my measuring tape with me right now, but either live stream or long form video, I will measure my locks. And so you'll see if your guesses were correct. I need to make a guess for myself. First, I need to look back at my old video and then make a guess for myself. But I'll try to put in the caption the link to that video. So once I post it, you can go back and check it out. But so, yeah, sprinkle in there. I want to do live streams. I'm not sure if I want to set on a specific date because I want to be consistent with it. So if I'm like, oh, every Thursday, but let's say something comes up, then I may not be able to go live and I don't have to keep changing. I want you all to know, well, if I'm at my on my phone or my computer and it's Saturday, I know I can expect a new post from ibyl. Or it's Wednesday 5 p.m. I know I can expect a new post. It's just like with your favorite TV show, like I've been watching Papa's House, and I know Mondays Papa House comes on, unless they're doing a repeat, which they really don't. They do episodes. It's a new season, first season. I know that 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, Abbott Elementary, unless they're off season, posts a new episode. So I want to have a schedule like, oh, I'm going to my computer or on my phone. I know is this time on this day, Abigail is posting on her YouTube page. I can expect that. Now the lives will probably be surprise, or I may give a heads up if I know, okay, during this day at this time, I know I can commit. And if so, I'll do like a scheduled live, and so you'll know to chime in. You can get the notification and things like that. But so today was supposed to be a long form video, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get my long form video filmed and edited on time. So I said, you know what? I'm coming on here with a live. come on here with a live. And I always say it's gonna be a quick live. I'm gonna be on here for a few minutes and then I'm gonna get off. But once I get to talking, and I love seeing the comments and the interaction with whatever I'm talking about, it makes me want to stay a little bit longer. So I really appreciate you all for tuning into this live, liking the live, sharing the live, and posting some really good questions. And I think I responded to all the questions that you all posted. Yes. And like I say, if you're watching the replay, let me know how many inches you think my longest lock is. I gotta first find out where my longest lock is. I feel like the locks that are like right here, like right above my ear. No, not my ear. Somewhere around this ear. I feel like those are where the longest locks are. But yeah, I will have to find out where is the longest lock on my head and measure it to see how many inches it is. Oh, thank you so much, Jean G. I've enjoyed you being on the live, and so I'm gonna check out your channel as well once I post this. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank y'all so much for joining in on a Wednesday. You know, it's after the work day. Yo, all this was my first work day. Well, it wasn't my first work day. It was my third work day of 2025. I was off all the way up until the 5th. So the 6th, yeah, it was my first work day. So it makes my third. But today, I'm one tired sister. Like, once I get out this live, I'm going to run me a bubble bath and wind down for the night. So yeah, thank you for spending the past 40 or so minutes of your Wednesday evening with me. And stay tuned for upcoming content. Oh, also post in the comments any videos you want to see me do. Any ideas you have. And if you haven't checked out the hair challenge in my last video that I posted on Saturday, check it out. Hopefully you're joining with me. But yeah, so I'm about to end the live. Thanks for tuning in. You all be blessed. Have a good rest of your week. It is cold here in Tennessee. There is the winter storm advisory. It's supposed to be some snow. Now, when snow comes to Tennessee, it shuts down not the city, it shuts down the state. So like, I haven't even gone to the grocery store, but I bet the shelves will be bare when I do go. But you all stay warm wherever you all are and have a good rest of your night and good rest of your week. Expect an upload from me on Saturday. And I will see you all in the next video. Remember to keep it fly, keep it fabulous. Peace. You all, that outro feels so nostalgic because I've done it for years, but I stopped doing it. I guess when I had my break in posting and I kind of forgot about it. But let me know. Should I do a newer outro? Let me know. All right, so I'm going to figure out how to stop this stream, and I'll see y'all later.